The
Let's
palais
fuck
is
around
right
and
up
find
ahead.
out.
Come on.
Let's fuck around and find out. What the hell are you? Let's find weather, you think. What are you doing? Patrolling and enjoying the weather as I do. Rain or shine, it's a good day for a magazine, bro. How do you call those things? What do you call those things? Chat, what do you call those things? How do you say their name? Someone write it.
Well, who the hell are you talking to?
I said chat, bro, not you.
ChatGPT,
Not
bro. That's
other,
the
not,
one you're
not
playing.
other voice in the head. See you later. We just pointed.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
Is that the same girl who does the voice of Diana?
This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Nervalet's files are really secure.
There's one guard.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell.
Still just one guard.
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
How do you forget something?
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Just now.
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All
God, why is she
then,
so like
I'll
Mona's
let you
voice
through.
actor?
The Chief Justice is just inside.
I think I was saying the
Thanks so much.
only problem I've had with this update so far is a lot of the voice actors for English sound really samey. It really has been a problem in other parts of the game, but this one specifically, the voice actors are all very samey sounding.
Please come in.
The Chief Justice of Fontaine! Big ass office. Must be a big man.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We
Monsieur
only wanted to get in
Nervalet.
because we didn't know any other way.
I know like the art thing referred to him as like the father of the Mussolini, like that's what they called him.
It's all right.
Like the back of his
Please let me
hair,
know how I may be of assistance to you.
he has like the two antenna, kinda. Not really though.
So you're not mad at us?
Why would he be
We're
mad?
looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
Why would he not be?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years.
Wait, so we have to find
There are
a
no
different one.
records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Alright, so in the files where you're remembering. Interesting distinction. Just to have that out there. Back to square one.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
How come we don't tell him about the ocean and the fountain? We talked about other nonsense with other people. No, I guess not.
Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
Damn, seems even the Chief
And
Justice
what
doesn't
are you
understand.
trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel?
Yeah, bro,
Why
she's crying,
didn't
crying
you
on
give me the
animation.
power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Damn, emotional outburst, emotional manipulation, calls a higher power, left.
Navia, are you okay?
Does she seem like she's okay? It's raining
I'm
now.
fine.
What a terrible day for rain.
Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
Rain.
What is it? Did you think of something?
It's the god crying. Was he outside?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value.
It's not you didn't know at the time.
Oh? Wait.
Look.
You don't mean...
Yeah, people can be turned into water.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier?
It is an absurd
All right.
idea.
Let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Once again, the fact
We're
that
gonna make progress for sure this time.
there's a
Do you want to go with me
severe
now?
biological
Or do you
weapon
want to
in
head
this
over by
country.
yourself later?
Biological weapon?
Yeah, just the fact that the water thing, like even fucking 3 years ago. We should go with the
Right.
idea still fresh.
Let's go then.
Damn, bro, she did the appeal to emotion to Neuvillette, bro. He started crying, bro. That was the first crying animation in the game, bro. Actual full crying animation. He's like, my dad's dead, nigga. I'm dead. And she's
God,
like, he's all
yeah,
like,
it looks like shit, bro.
and then he's all like, damn, that's crazy. I'm sorry.
Couldn't have, I mean, they could have kept the more comical crying stuff for like the NPCs, but damn, they could have done these a little bit better for everyone else.
What the hell? Dark Tide Echoes, bro. I feel like a weapon from like Destiny. What the fuck am I?
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
Yeah, why is there like a ship down here?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters.
I told you they were pirates,
I thought
bro.
it was the one who
Their
asked for it to be
headquarters is
built
a
like this.
mobile ship.
Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and
Pirates Guild, bud.
glamorous
There you
ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
Bright and limitless future, bro. He built the ship so that when Fontaine floods, they can sail out of there, bro. I already know, bro. He was preparing for it.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past.
Bro, they had a fucking
Paimon was
ironclad.
confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
How do you get the ship out of here, though? The water level certainly isn't high enough for that. And this place doesn't look like it has a dam and levee system. I guess the ship isn't really meant to actually travel. Practically? I mean, I don't know. Check something. Oh, no, that's not Twitch. Damn, what am I doing? There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Let me make sure. Okay, that. Oh. Nice cock! Nice shit! Let's talk to the members.
Maloose, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
Court got fucked.
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Maloose? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
The mastermind be the same person. Brothers, you be pulling off murders for like 20 years, bro. You're a badass if you be pulling this shit off.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson.
Synth.
At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant
Ain't
hallucinations.
no way they abbreviated absinthe to synth, bro, to like avoid like the connection.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who
What the hell's
turned into
absinthe?
water
Absinthe
also
is like
mention
a
that the
fucking
primordial water could be
90
used to
proof
produce
liquor.
Some kind of potion?
Okay.
Yes, he did.
We are straight up
Considering
pirate
what we know
moonshining
now,
right now.
It's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions.
This is the first
And
time.
if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance.
What an interesting. I didn't think Fontaine would be the nation that delved into substance abuse.
As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a
Well, think
stop
about it.
to
We're in a
synth
court case.
abuse
We're probably gonna
and
do all
called for a
the.
complete ban of it.
We have rapists, nobles.
Boss's
We have
uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendors'
serial
wrath. But
kidnapping.
no matter how much they
We
threatened or
have
bribed
drug
him,
abuse and
he
drug
refused to
dealing.
yield.
We're to deal with
Not
all
only that,
the crimes in
boss
this.
became
movie.
determined to
Finally,
find
you're
the
like, I want Genshin
mastermind
story to get
behind
dark
the synth
now.
operation.
First thing is a
Put an
nigga
end to
dying.
the problem once and for all.
Man, if only had the Chinese
Yes.
version, bro. When they
But the
literally
enemy
said the
was
Lynette
very
was on the
cunning.
chopping block to be molested.
Yeah.
And so he could never get anything out of the dealers.
Oh no, she almost got hurt, guys. Yeah, I wonder what someone who fancied her looks as a cat girl would. Yeah, they want to hurt her.
My father
yeah,
decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques.
Jacques.
He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food.
Jacques.
But then,
got killed.
We heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
2 gunshots? How many rounds did we load into these guns?
We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Interesting, bro. Only put 2 rounds in a mafia style. 1 in the chest, 1 in the head.
Growls threateningly.
Her dad be straight capping niggas, bro. I like it.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Yeah, well, sometimes drug deals go wrong, or other deals
Sounds
go
just
wrong.
like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
Bro.
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But,
No, it was a
considering it
third
now,
shadow person who
it's
got
almost
gassed
certain
or
that they belong
watered.
to a third person at the scene. With 1 extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
You're probably trying to shoot 2 people. Third person was to blame.
You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with 0 warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth.
Now, who the fuck is
On that note, however, Even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as
What
you're
the
and your
fuck? That is
father's
in chat, bro.
butler,
Why is Yasha
I must
raging
still
and then
offer a
Johnny
word
telling
of
him to
warning.
hang himself?
Our
So is that?
opponent is insidious
damn.
and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and
Only
Boss has
pathetic,
already
God
lost
bless.
his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end?
He certainly didn't want you going after. He
Is
didn't tell you
still here.
anything.
Callous the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Well, she surely got conviction. I'll give her
This
that.
is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Malus.
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Damn, bro, they were gonna like liquidate her.
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live.
How did he
The
get hit
serial
by?
disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina de Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
It just did today.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
Then you would never choose it, and you'd live the life you want. He gave you a perfect outing.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters.
I know we were launching a full frontal
When he was
assault.
threatening the enemy, boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found.
Why, you don't want to go straight to the
But
enemy,
if you want to
the
use
final
it
boss's
against
base?
the enemy,
Surely
you
we're
still
ready
have
for
to
it.
take several things into
You
consideration.
know, put me in the rink with the Archon
Why?
already. Let me just fight her
If
so I can
we
get my
know where
brother
the place
information.
is, can't we just go storming in?
We could.
You mustn't forget that we're fighting
You
against
should.
a mysterious
She came at us
and
and put us in
dangerous
trial, and then she scared and
organization
left us.
that's been in
No, I
operation
deserve a
for
reserved
decades.
appointment for kicking your ass
There's no telling what
in
might be lying
trial.
in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
We still don't have evidence.
Well,
to
you
back it
saw
up.
one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Huh. That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
We haven't connected anything.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Malus.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Thank you.
A team
for
and an
all of
assault
that, Malus.
needs all type of
Have you
places.
discovered anything new
An
in
army
the past
needs
few
all
years?
cogs and gears to make it
Let
fun.
me think. One conclusion I came to is that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
The hell is that
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Like our competitor.
Yes,
competitor.
you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along.
God, bro.
Among those I trust the most.
This is bad, but
It's
we're fighting.
Almost too hard to believe.
We're
If
using
you want to
Mafia to
investigate
fight
them, please
the
take
cult
every
that's hidden
precaution
within
to
the
not alert
entirety
the
of
quarry.
Fontaine.
Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
This is worse than fucking Star Rail, when like we had to take out the cult. At least we were using the military organization of the entire ship to back. We're not using the goddamn like mafia underbelly organization to engage the fucking cult that's infiltrated everything, bro, including the authorities.
This nigga wants the A team, bro. We got
Of
the
course.
B team, and you're gonna
And
and you're gonna
thank you,
like it, bro. You have
Malus.
no choice on the
You
matter.
provided us with a lot of
You're in your
great
shaggy,
information.
You're too kind, my
shaggy gang
lady.
is all you can do.
I'm just doing my duty.
Jesus.
And before I forget, proving boss's
Listen, bro. I mean, how
innocence will also
powerful
mean
can this
clearing him
organization
of
be,
blame
bro? It's
in
only like they
Jacques'
have
death.
a means of
After that incident,
wiping us
Jacques'
out.
wife and
immediately.
daughter were taken into the Spina's care.
Well, I say us.
They
yeah.
still live in
Everyone else.
Poisson today.
Croissant,
If it might help, you could also pay them a visit.
croissant.
I can make the necessary arrangements.
Where's the Ganyu plushie? The croissant?
Marshmallows, you really are the best.
A new case awaits, my dear partner.
Alright. Well, looks like we're doing
I hope we can work together to
Investi-
uncover the truth.
investigation
and
for
end
the
this case once and for all.
pirate mafiosos, man. Alice's case records. It's a case. Brother. Oh boy. Let's pay his family a visit. How bad can this get?
It
Breaking
is
these guys.
settled then. Please excuse me and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Oh, it's like they after the father's death, they were taken into like the mayor of the Spindel Roselle. Like, oh yeah, the leader of the organization blew your husband's heart out, or he's convicted of doing it. So we'll take care of you now.
Thank you for arranging
Yeah,
everything for
oopsie
us,
daisies.
Malus.
Yeah, you guys are taken care of now. Sorry about that.
Would you trust the organization
Excuse
that
me,
just killed your
miss.
husband?
Do you need anything
Listen, bro.
from us?
If someone said that they shot my wife and that me and my children are now gonna be under their care, at that point I'm not even gonna question anything because I already know if I try to question, I'm gonna get shot myself.
Mafia's all quiet.
You don't have a choice of the matter.
This isn't like her at all.
Why's
They're
that,
not taking care of you. They're keeping their eyes on you.
that child staring at her, bro? He's like, I know you. I know your father killed my father.
I'm sorry.
Hey, we can relate,
but I
bro. Both
only
our
came
dads
to
are
visit
dead.
After all this
Yeah, but yours
time.
killed mine. That's what doesn't matter.
After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
I only came to visit after all this time, bro. It's been 3 years and you never visited the family of the person your father killed.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you, and to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Someone ordered Jacques to take out Calice.
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Calice had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your Papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality
I don't think
is
Navia
quite
was going to be a
different
super
from your
main character.
father's, your determination
I did not
and
think
your
either. I thought she was to be like a
really
side
similar.
class character, but here we go. She is our main protagonist.
really
She is the
think so?
Alhaitham of this.
That's the
Of this
first time
version.
anyone said that to me.
Yeah, well, she got the compliment. Testimony from Jacques' family. Adelaide and
I'll leave
Ulla.
my husband's.
Thank you, Miss Spina.
Miss Spina.
Are you okay, Navia?
Navia Spina.
I'm fine. Don't worry.
I want a peen and
Let's
Navia.
investigate the
Spina.
three
What?
suspects next.
Yeah, that's true.
Laurent should...
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
They kick your ass in. It's
I'm
wonderful.
sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth.
Milk it.
And it'll be all the talk for the next
Once again,
several
what,
weeks.
the journalists are
It
gonna.
also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my
The,
father,
the journalists are gonna
it was
milk that,
raining
bro.
outside,
For all it's
and we
worth.
found some clothes left at the scene.
The journalists are gonna milk it for all it's worth, bro. For several weeks. They're gonna milk the fact that there's a biological weapon that can insta-kill any Fontainian in the entirety of the world for weeks, bro. They're just gonna milk that. I still love the fact that they were glossing over the fact that there is a biochemical weapon that could kill any Fontainian by just touching them.
Literally immediately.
Immediately.
Like,
Via consumption, via touching, via... And
the fact
no
that the fact
one
that
is
the
panicked by
fact that
that.
it exists. The fact that it's funny. Like, where's the Archon? Where's Navudia? What are they doing? The fact that they realize that this even exists, they should be hunting this down.
This should be priority number one on everyone's list. Like, oh, okay, anyone can die to this immediately.
What
After
happens
my
if the
partner
Archon
here
gets
put the dots
primordial
together
soup?
for
Does she
me,
turn into soup too?
I feel like
who
we should
the fuck
try to
becomes the third
reopen
Archon?
this
Navite?
case.
What
Well,
if
how
he's
about
dead
the,
too?
yeah, we've never heard about wars between the Archons and the countries, but fuck it. What if someone from Lee was like, you know what, I'm not, someone from Sumeria is like, that's it, I'm declaring war on Fontaine. And what's that?
I wonder how-
There's a weapon that I can just spray to kill people? Okay. Good luck with your army. When they get hit with water, a water cannon full of primordial soup, and I've killed half your army instantly.
They don't even have to ingest it or anything. They get tapped by it like a water balloon amount, and they're
That's
dead.
like, good, I'm glad you have an army of Gardamex, bro, but if there's no people left, what the fuck are they guarding?
Can you do me a favor
Zimmer
and try to recall
created
what
a
happened
fucking
that night?
dream brain computer. I'm pretty sure they can create a squirt
Let me
gun.
think.
I
Because
guess
of primordial
the only
soup
way,
in
the
there.
only way it
Feeling
makes sense
pretty upbeat
that they're
that
so
day.
like callous about it and
So
just don't
he
give a
was
shit.
Drinking and bantering
Is
away
that-
with us at the table.
The primordial
there you
shit
go,
is
that-
hard
they know
to
He told
that.
us
get.
that he wanted to go
I
I
think
get
think
some
they
fresh
probably
air.
already know about it.
So
They're
we
probably
let
the
him go
boss of it,
without
if
thinking
anything.
much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene.
I love the fact that all the people are like, we heard gunshots, so I grabbed my holster. Everyone in Fontaine's got guns, bro. I'm glad no one else in the world has adopted one of the most effective weapons that's ever been invented.
Wait, you're telling me that two gunshots? It took only one to take this man's leg.
The only ones you see are SNES 9 guys who have rifles. Like,
dude, do you know how crazy the black market dealer would be, bro? People, the desert niggas in Sumeru would go across borders of Fontaine, get guns, come back.
Absolutely.
What are these nerdy ass brainiacs gonna do when I have a glat? Like, what the fuck?
Like, when the gun was invented, it literally revolutionized the entirety of warfare and combat for all of humanity. It completely changed everything of how wars were fought. It's like, nah, just only Fontaine has them. This shit would be the camera spread faster than the gun. Bullshit.
But when I got there,
it takes a literal boat trip. You could do this shit in a day. You can come back with an entire arsenal of Glocks.
With a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So
I'm pretty sure a single small game of 5 people with guns can easily take over a Mondstadt, like not without trying.
While the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation.
Again, Jacob, don't think about it. You're not meant to think about it.
Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
Perhaps.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him.
The first shot didn't hit anyone. Probably hit the waterman.
Probably
shot him,
belonged to Jacques,
water.
or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on.
He's only seized it from himself?
If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callis's honor in your hands, boss.
This guy sounds suspicious,
and if I may
but he
just
sounds
say
pretty
one
good
more
now.
thing. The whole Callis the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callis, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callis's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula.
Great story.
And live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say.
No, we're gonna pretzel
he'll
pizza.
He'll always be the man I respect the most.
Pretzel pizza.
And he'll always be my boss.
Desperate for.
Don't worry, the Arby's Wagyu
I
burger.
will definitely find the truth.
God, Arby's by default already gives people food poisoning. I wonder how bad they'll fuck up a Wagyu burger.
I don't know. Alright. That guy sounds loyal. That doesn't mean anything to me. He's like, oh, bro, you know what I'm waiting for? Let's pick up the spin crystals. Bro, when we gonna get the motherfucking Fontaine teapot?
Oh shit, you're right. What would that even look like? Would it just be underwater?
Probably.
You know that one person's base where they went under one of the islands and then their base was like, just that.
The top half is like a watery island, and then the bottom half is like a mechanical structure underneath, bro. The first teapot with it underground. But this dude's name is damn near Thievery, bro.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss
Can't wait for you to
Navia?
meet the third person. Their name is just Suslingus.
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know.
Why
the way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callis did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These two are my partners.
Yeah, buddy, you better
What
keep
happened
yourself
at
in
the
check.
Opera House made us realize that Lenny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Bro, a new murder in the serial
I
killer
get
case
it.
opens up a cold
You
case.
think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you.
You know what?
Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
I guess in this case, it's only day 2 after the case where we had seen someone get like turned into water. Maybe in the later story, we'll see the city descend into like panic when people realize that anyone can get turned into water. I'm trying to think, bro. Like,
was that not clear in with how they explained
well,
it?
because like the way they describe it here, it's like they're like, yeah, you were flabbergasted too, and you learn people like no one knew people could actually get turned into water before they saw it happen in the court case.
Yeah, but like,
so
that's the thing. Did no one just connect the dots? Like,
I guess we haven't seen like that type of shit would spread like wildfire. I feel like.
Well, to be fair, no one dissolved into water though. Except, well, actually, yeah,
the guard,
the security guard at the very end.
At the end of the court case, he turns into water, and everyone saw it.
Yeah, no one gonna be like, can that happen to everyone?
I guess like. We know that all Fontainians are weak to it. The primordial sea stuff. It's just. Also, I like how the fact that he's like, your father ensured your protection. And it's been 3 years. And then but we just drank the water that was meant to kill her. Turn her into primordial soup. So all bets are off now. Like, they're going to attack her.
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
I love the fact that she's like, we got attacked by a horde of Gardamex on the outskirts of the city. She's saying that to a guard. Don't forget, this happened in front of the largest courthouse in all of Fontaine, by the way. We got attacked by like 400 Gardamex. That stuff just doesn't disappear when they're destroyed. So the pieces the pieces would be there, and you know, once again, everyone in the city would know that happened. That it's not just something that just goes away.
Also, isn't Charlotte in town? Isn't her whole shtick literally finding random news and then spreading it? This would be top news within an hour.
The captain was the one who fucking saved it. It's like, really? Like, sometimes the story, like, yeah, it's well written, but then there's small shits like this where it's like, where's like, it's like horrific logical gaps and fallacies where it's like, the people of the town, this entire city should be panicking that there's a fucking biological weapon on the loose. And the Gardamek incident should be known to every guard in the city that like a fucking 50 of them were just in the city.
The thing with the water event, I can see them keeping it more on the down low to a degree, because like, what's the point of telling your entire population? Yeah, by the way, there's a nigga out there who can just squirt water on you and you will die.
There's no yeah, you would try to keep them on the down low, and there's no way to do it. Considering we're running around asking everyone about it, we'll spread the panic ourselves. I hope that in the next quest, like, the panic starts spreading, because if it doesn't, then it's like, what's the fucking point? And then the Gardamek part, I don't even know how they explain that away, bro. How the fuck did people not know that there was like 50 of them destroyed in the main central line?
If I had to make an analogy,
melt it into water too.
When you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage.
What?
If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, Those mecha were definitely private units.
Private units. Probably not even built with serial numbers.
They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Makes sense.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
No, he is not.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia.
I'm glad the only one character she said is in the clear so far is Thierry. And for some reason, he knew to connect it to the synth business and knew exactly what to do to even get rid of a serial numbers on a guard effect.
Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
I like how you commented on the documentary being spelled differently. But look at how they spell guards, bro. They spell everything differently. If she doesn't say, you're in the clear for the next dude, then I know that dude's not in the clear. Because there's zero reason for her to say that. Put emphasis on it when she didn't do it with the other dude.
Bro, I feel like the first guy was so trustworthy, and I was like, nigga, hell. He's like, damn. Here's all the details I know, and then Theory's like, I know how to build a bomb, and it's like, you are so trustworthy. Yeah, thanks, Navia, very cool. I feel like I would say that to a nigga I thought was going I want to incriminate immediately after.
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure, I will let him know right away.
God, I love artificial ways to pad the story. Oh my God.
Navia,
Marcel.
hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Damn, bro. Get a wheelchair, old man.
Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, he was at the Opera House.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
Yeah, exactly. You were there.
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive.
You should be afraid
to beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf. I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Wine is not for drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes. I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
You immediately connected the dots, bro?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can
no,
sense
Uncle
that the
Marcel,
other side has
I was
already
running your father's case. A nigga connected the dots immediately.
And what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Arrhenius by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that
Thank
sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past.
Damn, I was wondering was someone's gonna mention it, bro. Like, yeah, the peace he sought was becomes a thing of the past. He's the only one to mention it.
But rest assured, Navia.
Besides me.
Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot.
Okay, once again, Thierry is the only dude who she's like, oh, you're in the clear, who also didn't assure his loyalty. The first dude's like, don't worry, on your father's name, I'll honor him. This dude, if anything happens to you, I'll spend every last Mora to make sure you're protected. The other dude, oh, good luck, man.
Seems like this man wasn't paying attention to all their stories.
Gotta reread them, bro.
Yeah, you gotta go through all of them.
Sorry,
bro.
My age is catching up with me. So
you didn't see the fourth member.
Well, we'll get to it.
There's a prize guess.
The confrérie was
or is there
responsible
5?
for that
Who knows? I'm
banquet,
making shit up right
so
now.
I was out and about the whole time, making sure things were running
Holy
smoothly.
shit! I know I asked for a battle like this, but damn.
Then I heard the sound of a
They did not have to give me this for real.
And the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
How come Marcel's the only one who only
Sounds
heard
good.
a single gunshot?
Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Foggy recollection. That nigga's useless though. We need concrete evidence.
Take it easy.
That is an awful noise. If you stand just far enough away from like the spinning thing in the city, it makes like a fucking like iron brass like groaning noise. Why would they put that, bro? This shit's loud as this shit's like it's not even loud. It's just annoying to hear in the background.
We've talked to all 3 suspects.
Hey, bro, you gotta get that immersion.
Also, I care for someone to mark it, but like Navia has the bulging thighs, you know.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years.
Yeah.
Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
Compilation time.
But where should we start?
Jacques' motive.
Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
I wouldn't have 5 shots at all.
Oh? And why is that?
Could he guarantee his safety to killing Callus? Guarantee the safety of his family's safety to killing Callus.
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father.
So the third person would have to blow every nigga away.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory.
A theory? A game?
Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Oh, who among the 3 suspects would be able to control privately owned Gardamex? The rich nigga, probably.
Eat the rich, shall we?
The rich one? Or the guard? Or the dude who's also in the organization who probably has no more money than us and is the only one who's been loyal to the father?
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques. And with funds from the confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
Yeah. That's the Shell Corporation. The guard.
Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use.
He's the only one who knew everything.
I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
I got all the dialogue options.
Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Damn, too broke to afford a mecha army.
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly. Who could it be?
Let's piecemeal it together. Irrelevant. I love how the evidence is just irrelevant. It's one person.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight.
Sounds like Malus is the nigga himself.
Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Uncle Marcel.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
We can find out the synth production.
Yes. Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now.
Oh, okay. So we're going in there without any backup?
Far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Oh, okay, so you're actually
Navia,
rational.
Here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Hey, guard boy.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Another trial?
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
we got another trial at the courthouse. Isn't that place built for it, nigga? What's the point of you telling me this?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui Harbinger called Tartaglia.
Oh my god, a Fatui Harbinger called Tartaglia. What is he doing in Fontaine to be arrested, bro? Last we saw him, he was tossing us the vision.
What?
And got himself in a little bit of a
someone
pickle.
you know?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
Bro, we have to be fucking Mr. Worldwide's lawyer.
Well, partner, what do you think we should do?
That's child's name.
We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
We'll split up. Who's gonna assault the base? It has to be us, bro.
Huh?
What do you mean, bro?
Split
Just send Navia there. Surely she
What
can
do you
it.
mean?
I'm confident in my combat abilities. I'm not gonna see. Glad the game has dialogue that obviously it's supposed to be split dialogue, but like I should be saying that in front of this dude because we don't want him to know. Even if it's an ally.
Just as expected of my partner.
I'll go whoop some ass.
Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
Damn, bro, put a timer on the quest.
You, just like you helped us in Lenny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
You.
Timer. Fuck it.
Malou, Silver.
Yeah, bro, she said we gotta get there quickly.
When did you two get here?
Oh, she's fucked.
We heard that you'll be
What do you mean,
leaving
bro? We have the power of teleportation.
Figured that you might
matter.
require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Arrhenius. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
Why is he called Silver, bro?
See you then.
Never explained that. I'll spec analysis. Where's the secret military base that I gotta assault now?
Now that Navia has set out for Arrhenius, we should also get going.
When all returns to
The location has
Longers.
already been marked on the